What's up? Welcome into your Daily Buckeye Blitz for a Wednesday, the hump day, September 10th, 2025. How's everybody doing? Oh boy, huge week. I'm heading up to Detroit to visit Sean, and my Canadian princess is coming down to visit me. So it's going to be an epic weekend wrapped around, well, things will be wrapped around. We'll keep that. Save it. Hey, this is a family show. Come on. Not really. Anyway, the Buckeyes are getting geared up for this Ohio University Bobcats team coming in. So yesterday, Ryan Day talked to the press, talked to the media, had his typical Tuesday press conference. Let's run through some of the highlights here. Hey, as always, please, if you want to help the show out, go to thebuckeyecast.com. Buy yourself a shirt, a hat, some gear, whatever you like. We've got some great shirt designs there, all created by me. You got silver bullets, our honor defend. You got even if you like throwbacks, get the Beat Sparty shirt. Yeah, some of my Canadian listeners will not enjoy that comment. Anyway, so yeah, and always, as always, please like and share and the show with a friend or a neighbor. So let's get into it here. So starting off, Ryan Day talked about player development and evaluation. He said every snap is an opportunity to improve and earn more playing time. It's not just about highlight plays, but players must execute within the team's structure and grade out well. He talked about focusing on details like hand placement, timing, spacing, ball location for especially running backs, quarterbacks, receivers, all that. Ryan Day said against weaker opponents, the coaches look deeper. Are the mistakes due to coaching, scheme, or personnel? You hear that all the time when coaches are under fire. They go back and look at, is this being taught by the position coach? Is this a flaw in the scheme? Is the play messed up? Or is the personnel? Is this not execution by the player? So he said repeated mistakes are red flags, and the players need to learn quickly to correct those mistakes. So again, putting it on the players there. Ryan Day talked about special teams concerns. He said the punt return game is an area of major concern. He cited the loss of hidden yards. 47 hidden yards were lost last week, just in last week's game. And those are costly. That's 4.5 first downs, you know? So Brandon Innes and Jeremiah Smith, they're still in the mix for the return duties, but the execution has to improve. And I'm fine with just about anybody back there. I don't know. I don't think a starter should be back there. Personally, I think you go with your fourth wide receiver, maybe a Mylan Graham, see what he can give you. Bryson Rogers looked great too. Just you can't be back there dancing, and that's the thing. So let's bring somebody back there that's just going to catch the ball and hit it. Randy talked about the quarterback room. He said he praised Julian Sayin for his rhythm, decision making, and deep ball accuracy. He was perfect on those deep balls, by the way, should be noted. Will Howard was not. Kyle McCord was not. So just for comparison's sake. Then he talked about Lincoln Kienholz and his athleticism, leadership, and he's shown steady growth. I think this is this week. Probably this week too. But this season is kind of a get stuff on tape season for Lincoln, so he can go to another school. I don't think he's going to stay after this season. Good dude. Would love to have him. I don't know why he would stay when you got Tavian St. Clair coming in, who is even better, probably a little bigger. And Julian Sayin is going to be your starter for probably 2 years. So anyway, Ryan Day stressed the importance of keeping experienced backups in the transfer portal era, where QB depth is harder to maintain. So you got to have backup quarterbacks with experience on your roster. He talked about playing until the final whistle. Day wants to use the late game reps for development and not kneeling out the clock. That's why you don't see them kneeling with 3 minutes left in the game, or even two. He talked about young players need those reps to improve and put good tape out there. And it's good for the player, too. I mean, this is a two-way street. Development helps the team and helps the player. Ryan Day was asked some questions about recruiting. He talked about the COVID-19 period that made evaluation tough. They didn't have any camps, if you remember back then. They didn't have any of the summer camps, no visits, and they leaned on high school coaches for any intel. But today's recruiting is about careful evaluation with constant flips and portal volatility. So you have to really be on your shit with your GM, Mark Pantoni, and his team. Ryan Day emphasized the finishing strong in recruiting and being selective in the portal. He said they plan to sign a huge class, a monster class. So um, Ryan Day also talked about the moving a transfer portal window to January. He's totally opposed to that. He said that would disrupt playoff prep, and most Big Ten coaches agree. They do have a group chat amongst most of the Big Ten coaches just to see who's on what page, and they try and all get on the same page so they can get things passed. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Yeah, January window is freaking stupid. If you're playing until almost February in the playoffs, what in the hell? Why do you want to lose your guys? We saw this last year with Penn State's backup quarterback, Prabula Lanolin. Uh, he had to leave before they started their playoff run. He didn't want to, but he had to. We saw this with other players. Anyways, changing gears here, some position updates. Randy said Max Clare's progressing after a tough preseason. He's learning the physical demands of playing tight end. He also talked about the staff's chemistry. He described it as clean and solid, good communication across the board, which is imperative. You've got to have total alignment top to bottom throughout the staff. Day talked about the offense leaning more on 12 and 13 personnel. Those are 2 and 3 tight end sets. That gives you versatility and unpredictability, especially if those tight ends can catch the ball. And talking about Ohio University, the Bobcats coming in, he talked about scouting them. He said he praised the quarterback for mobility, his competitiveness, and off-schedule playmaking. We talked about that on Sunday's show. Parker Navarro is the quarterback. Day expects Ohio to provide a good test despite the talent gap. Again, this is not a Grambling. There is a middle level to this. This is not, a talent equates game, and it's not a Grambling. So there is a middle ground here. These guys are MAC champs, but against the MAC. Randy talked about Jeremiah Smith. He said he praised Jeremiah for his competitiveness and effort every single day. His drops in the first game don't concern the coaches, and the teammates trust him. So that's good. And they talked about Jeremiah's commitment to improvement makes him reliable moving forward. They have to pull him out of practice sometimes just because the dude wants to get in there and compete and be the best. So, yeah, a lot to take away there. But Ryan Day's tone was clear. The Buckeyes are focused on development, discipline, and building depth. You're going to see a lot of players play in this one. We saw 72, I counted up, 37 on defense, 35 on offense last week against Grambling. So the Grambling blowout was good for confidence, but Ohio U brings in a different test with a mobile quarterback. The Buckeyes want to clean up the special teams, get that headed in the right direction, keep Julian Sayin's momentum rolling, and then continue to sharpen the details before we get into Big Ten play. We do have a week off after this one, but then we go out to Seattle to play Washington. So the Huskies. And that place gets rocking. But anyway, so I got for you today. Tomorrow we'll be doing 5 keys to a Buckeye victory. And then, tomorrow we're going to do best bets. And then Friday will be 5 keys. All right. I had to split those up because I have quite a few bets this week. So we're separating those 2 episodes. Anyways, so I got for you today. Talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.